Big Ben with BTS Photography, bringing you another exciting video that I found lying on my scratch drives from a photo shoot that I did over a year ago, a collaboration on an editorial fashion concept, in which I'm going to be taking you deep and behind the scenes and showing you my lighting setups, why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, and what the results are. So many videos out there, behind the scenes videos that you see on these channels such as YouTube and other social networking sites are basically photographers that are putting some fancy music to some beautiful models and some flowing Steadicam shots and calling it a behind the scenes video or a tutorial. Me, I like to show you what I'm doing. I like to tell you why I'm doing it, and I like to show you how I'm doing it. So this video is going to have a lot of commentary in it. It's going to have a lot less shots and B-roll of the model and more of me just talking about why I'm doing it and demonstrating how I'm doing it. And so I hope you do enjoy this. Keep in mind this was shot over a year ago. This was even on an older camera with an older camera body as well as some older lenses. It was before I even had a full frame camera. However, the results are great and I hope you enjoy it. A couple other things I want to touch bases on is that you as the viewers have come out to me and you have literally told me what you would like to see more of. The biggest one that I want to point out is that a lot of you are saying that you want to see my post-production process. You want to see a before and an after shot of the images. A lot of you, I'm not saying I'm being accused, but a lot of you are saying that I spend a lot of time in Photoshop and they're thinking I'm getting a lot of the look and style of my shots in post-production versus in camera. So in this video, I have thrown, when I show you the finished product, I'm going to show you the raw image and then I'm going to show you the final JPEG image. I'm going to overlap them and fade them into each other so you can see how little post-production and editing's actually been done on these, and that I am actually striving to get as much of the look, the style, and the feel of the image in camera as much as possible. For me as a person that tries to make my, and I say try to make my living as a photographer, the more time that I'm out shooting, the more money I make. The more time I spend in Photoshop and Lightroom trying to fix an issue or an error with the photo, the less money that I'm making. And so honestly, when it comes down to it, lo and behold, for a basic photo shoot, even something like this, which could be used for editorial fashion or a commercial theme, or a clothing line, if I spend more than 2 to 5 minutes editing that photo, it is botched. I'm getting rid of it. It's not even worth a keeper in Lightroom. I'm throwing it out. I do occasionally dabble in photo manipulation. My Christmas cards I do every year are photo manipulations and basically composites where I use multiple images. But for the most part, I'm more of a photographer and not a digital artist. My post-production process is mainly doing two different things. One, I'm removing minor imperfections that might be with the model, minor imperfections that I didn't notice in camera, like a cord in the background, or maybe that spot, or that out-of-place hair that you've all seen that's been stuck there for 40 shots and you don't realize it till you get home and get the card loaded that, oh crap, that hair was there for every shot. So I remove those. And the second thing I do is basically add color, or the basic final color grade or look to the actual image, which only usually takes a few minutes, and then I can usually synchronize, create a droplet, or create even an action in Photoshop to apply that to the rest of the images. And so I'm glad you're here. 2014 is going to have a lot more videos for you. I'm extremely happy to be here, and I appreciate you watching. We're well over millions of views now, and keep watching. If you have questions, feel free to email me. Feel free to drop them below. If I don't answer you right away, it's because I do average about 40 emails a day. But if the email is something consistent and not simple questions like what camera should I buy, not that that's not a bad question. There's plenty of other resources out there that can help you in selecting a camera. But if you have specific questions about lighting, my process, or some conundrum that you can't figure out, I can at least help you. And if I can't help you, I'll point you in the right direction to where you can get help. So thanks for watching, and enjoy the video. So today it's going to be kind of interesting. Might be a little bit breezy. We're probably going to keep things simple with a one light setup. As it being editorial fashion, it's going to be very natural looking, very organic. We're going to be doing some stuff with some eye bands and some furs and kind of some wild natural hair. And so it's not going to be too edgy. We're not going to have too many light ratios. In fact, a lot of the lighting is most likely going to be a close ratio to ambient light. So we're going to simply use our strobes to balance our ambient light and almost make it so it doesn't look like we have artificial lighting. So we're going to do what we can. It is going to be a sunny day today, so we are going to have to deal with the sun. Shoot in the shade where we can, although our model might freeze to death being so cold, because we are going to be limited to our confines of our sync speed, which is about 1/250th of a second on my camera. I can push the envelope on mine to about 3/20th. We're going to be shooting on Nikon, the D300. We're going to be using lenses of 17 to 55, 2.8, possibly a 70 to 300, 3.5 to 5.6, and maybe perhaps if we're in a shaded environment to where I can open up the aperture and not blow out the highlights, even a nifty 50. Like I said, the only pro glass is the 17 to 55 here today, guys. We're gonna shoot with the virtually kit type lenses, or that a little more to show you that we can still get decent exposures and quality using a non-full frame camera as well as cheaper glass. So we're on our way to finally shoot after makeup. We did have to change up some things on our original makeup plan. We're going to go for a blue tone, but we decided with Tatum's skin tone, when we put the blue on it, really made her blue, almost like a turquoise blue that you'd find on like a southwestern Indian jewelry. And obviously that's not the look we're going for. And it just goes to show that having a really good makeup artist that knows what they're doing, knows how to read skin tones, and knows how to not only execute the look, but knows enough of their product to know what product to use on a particular person in a particular situation for a particular shoot is going to help anyone out. So we're on our way to shoot now. It's about 10:40 a.m. Like I said, it's November here in the United States, so the sun is way over in the southern hemisphere. We're going to be approaching winter solstice soon, and so we're going to be shooting on northerly facing buildings and walls in an urban environment to try to stick to the shade. So I'm constantly thinking when I go scout locations that I want to find a location that's going to have the right lighting, as in the sun's going to be in the right position for the time of day I was there. I knew I was going to be shooting around midday, so I knew that the sun's in the south, I'm shooting in the middle of the day, so I need to find a location that's going to be conducive not only for the look I'm going for in the backdrop, but also be appropriate for the ambient light that we're going. So we're on our way, and the other good thing is too is that, you know, Heather, our makeup artist, she's coming along. So many makeup artists will do their application of makeup, then they just take off like they're done. Heather's going to be around for the whole shoot. She's going to be doing retouches. She's going to be controlling flyaways with the hair in case we have a little bit of breeze. And so it's really a good thing to have a makeup artist that knows who's willing to stay for the shoot. And if you have to throw a little bit of more money their way to have them stay, it's completely and utterly worth it. I try not to do a shoot unless I can have a makeup be there for the duration of the shooting session. So we'll get out there. We're going to find some locations. I have done some pre-scouting, and we'll go from there. So what we're doing now, just real quick before we move to the next location, we've moved to the middle of the street. The sun's directly behind our model in the southern hemisphere, almost straight overhead, a little bit behind, so it's semi of a backlight. I'd say it's probably from 0 degrees being straight above the model, we're probably about 15 degrees behind her. What I've had to do here, since we got the street and the sky, I'm trying to cut out the sky as much as possible and use the background of the freeway overpass to kind of muddy up that so we're not seeing the sky. I've had to stop down to an F11. I've exceeded sync speed up to a 3/20th of a second, and because I've stopped down to an F11, I've got my quadra pushing almost 100%. It's at roughly 3/4 power right now. And I'm zooming in using the focal length on this scene to take advantage of that shallow depth of field to go ahead and free me up the background. So that's what we're doing. All right, here we go. So we moved on to our final setup where we asked our awesome makeup artist Heather. Again, today's all been about makeup artists. We simply changed up her look to a high glam look using the same green band we had on her. We kind of wiped it off and turned it into a high fashion look. Really put a lot of flammable alcohol-based hairspray in her hair to get it real big. We thrown on a black fur on her. We found an alley downtown. And we're gonna go ahead with a one light setup and get her done. So we had a great shoot today, and our last scene turned out to be, in our opinion, the fun one. You'll never know, even with all the plans and tear sheets, the art direction, planning of wardrobe and outfits, that sometimes the outcome pleasantly surprises you, and today it did with our last get up here in this alley. We shot maybe for 15 minutes, and I think these are definitely the portfolio shots, the money shots. So again, we did this simply with a 2-light setup. Big 60-inch umbrella with an Electron Quadra Ranger, put it at a 45-degree angle. We simply clamped a speed light, well it was there, to that light post up there for a rim light to separate Tatum's hair from the dark background. So you can see more of our tutorials at www.btsphotography.com. Probably viewing this on YouTube. I'd like to introduce our makeup artist for today, Heather Shelton. One of the best makeup artists in Utah, if not the world. She definitely knows what's going on. And we'd like to also introduce Tatum Langton.
Hi.
Met Tatum working on a feature film that I was running camera for. And when I saw her, I'm like, hey, I've got to shoot you. Come do a shoot with me. She's been kind and gracious enough to be here and freeze out here in the cold. So
Anytime.
So yeah. I'm Big Ben with BTS Photography, and I bid you happy shooting.
I'm rolling.
Yes, 1, 2, 2.
One
toast,
sec.
Toast. Toast. Kyle. Kyle.
Hey, Ben. Whenever you're ready.
You speed?
Yeah.